Good afternoon, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your ever-loving host, Shorty, and we're back second time in a day because there's quite a few things out this week. Already reviewed one thing earlier on today, just for the sake of it, might as well. But there's a bigger release this week. Bigger than He-Man. But it's the new X-Men comic book, and whenever there's a new X-Men comic book, there's usually a fairly solid call of, oh gosh, has the X-Men been relaunched again? And not really. I mean, there's an argument to be said that renumbering with a new creative team is actually a useful thing to do. It gives people a certified, definite, knowable jump-on point, rather than just, oh, wait, hang on, is this tied into other stuff that's going on? Is an arc halfway through? You can just be like, okay, this is an issue 1, we can jump on with it. Do it as a seasonal kind of thing if you see fit. And what they've done is they've brought on Jerry Dugan. Jerry Dugan's a writer that I particularly like. He's never absolutely blown my socks off in oh my god, I can't believe he's so bold and daring as to do such things. You have people like Hickman for that, who is still responsible for all the X-Men things going on. And Hickman kind of exists to change things. He is big and bold in all of his ideas, and he takes concepts and messes with them and turns them on the head and does, when everyone was saying, oh yeah, it's going to be like the dawn of a new age of the X-Men, and it turns out one thing he's doing was having their own island, my first thought was, yeah, I've not seen that before. Come on, Hickman. But then after 12 issues, you have to look back and think, yeah, he has done some good things. He's changed continuity even, and he's been very, very inventive. Now, this is going to sound like I'm thinking, well, and Jerry Dugan's not going to do that. And that's true. But Marvel needs solid writers like this. They need excellent people who can look at the world the way it is and tell amazing stories within it. So it doesn't always have to be world-altering, mind-bending amazingness. It can just be absolutely amazing, solid comic book storytelling. It can be a great point for people to jump on who don't necessarily want every issue 1 to be, and it'll never be the same again for these characters. It can just be like, hey, I know these characters. Tell me a cool story about them. And that's what Dugan does. And does it brilliantly. It starts out with just the idea of carrying on the Krakoan kind of thing, and that there is some X-Men who will no longer be on Mars, I think they've gone to now, but some will stay in New York. And it's actually kind of like a lovely little start to the story, which, unsurprisingly, because it's the X-Men, it then becomes a big threat level kind of space invasion. And this is where the artwork suddenly kicks into gear in a way that is just absolutely stunning. I mean, it looks great throughout. If anything, it suits Dugan perfectly because every page looks fantastic, but it's not going out of its way to be challenging. And I know that sounds like I'm trying to dumb it down a little bit here, but there are some writers and artists who will be interesting and challenging for the sake of it. That they will put their ability to do something wonderful and unusual that will change the way you look at it, as opposed to just being good. This is just good. That is just some weird alien living spaceship that just landed in New York, and Rogue has just been smacked by it, and now the X-Men are going to have to fight it. And it's brilliant. It is slick and cool and eye-catching, and then later on, the X-Men make a mech with each of them piloting it, which looks like that. Sorry, let me do this around so I can see it better. So they can go and kick this thing's butt. That's brilliant. That's kind of exactly what I want. It's not about the huge world-changing X-Men politics, or mutant kind politics, should I say. Don't get me wrong, they throw some politics in there, lovingly scattered amongst it. The Seneca Park thing, if you don't know about it, I'd recommend a bit of reading. I don't have time to get into it right now. I also reminded me of the Distiller song Seneca Falls, which you should also check out there. So they have that in there, including the idea that taking over Mars and claiming it, rather than when humankind went to the moon and said this is for all mankind, rather than this is for America or whatever. Even though you look at that through too close a lens and you're going to start seeing some holes. It isn't about that. It's about big-ass, amazing stuff with the X-Men. That thing that turned up is actually part of some plot by some evil alien overlords gambling on a planet-sized space station about who's going to be the first one to wipe humanity off the Earth, so they can claim it 'cause it's a really nice planet apart from all the Earthlings. Add to that, there's some really amazingly super intelligent scientist who's really annoyed that in the process of getting ready to colonize Mars himself, he changed his entire physiognomy and then found out that the X-Men just went and did it because they might as well. And then this foreshadowing of, is there another evil scientist, or not evil, but just interesting, doing their own thing as well. So it isn't just a simple story. It isn't just let's get the X-Men to kick some butt. It's actually, let's do that while telling you some cool little stories as well. And will throw in foreshadowing and unknown threat and mystery and intrigue, as well as just being cool. It's not Hickman's X-Men, but I've got to say it's appealing, and I can see why a lot of people will thoroughly enjoy this one. Okay, that's it for me today. I'm going to go home soon. But I'll be back tomorrow morning. You might get a double review tomorrow as well, because there's still a lot of stuff to go through. Until then, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.